Hi, I'm Tamara. Welcome to Real Conversations recorded in Dauphin, Manitoba. Our community is fueled by agriculture and food production, and today, Roman Panchenko joins us to share about his journey of becoming part of the Parkland community and his passion for the Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund. Thank you to our sponsors, Bankert Marketing, Dr. Brenna and Three Graces Medispa, Real Security Solutions, Roofs Furniture and Appliances, Oil Depot of Dauphin, Tri-Family Health, Beauty and Fine Gifts of the Paw, and Hearts to Nature Photography. Well, welcome back to Real Conversations. It is April 4th today and episode 13. And today I have the privilege of interviewing Roman Panchenko. And I wanted to talk to you, Roman, because you are of Ukrainian descent. But not only are you of Ukrainian descent, but you've moved into the community, the Parkland and Dauphin area from Ukraine directly. So you're first generation Canadian, and you've made this your home. And we all know the information that's being given to us about the war in Ukraine, lots of upsetting things. And yet, from talking with you, you've really kind of shone a light on like some hope, I think, and things that people here in the community are doing to make a difference. Yes. There's definitely. I really hope this project is going to bring some families here, and all that. So I'm actually excited for it because I've never been in the fund before. I've never been helping people as massively, as it is in that fund. So, this fund here is called Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund. It's a new fund. It's about only 2 weeks old. Since the war started, people gather up. We have the community is actually about 30 people who's actually voluntarily helping and doing different types of jobs, like Facebook media and gathering up the money, gathering up the all the necessity help that people are bringing to like roof furnitures. They're helping with all the furniture. People bring anything like sofas, beds, mattresses, everything. Utilities for like homes, pots and pots and stuff like that. So, which is amazing. Community here is showing that they really care of what's going on in Ukraine right now.
Right.
So,
well, and here in the Parkland, there's a really I would say a large population of Ukrainian people, Polish people came to this area. Lots of homesteading, farmland. They became farming. They came to farm in this area, and that was like well over 100 years ago now. Yeah. I think it goes all the way back to like the late 1800s when the train first came through. And I know that you moved here from Ukraine, and I was curious to find out. I want to know more about the project that you're involved in. Mm-hmm. But why did you choose Dauphin? Like when you decided to come to Canada, what was the highlight or the reason that you decided to come here to the Parkland community?
The story begins all the time. Like it started all when I was 12. So back when I was 12, my parents divorced and my mom moved to Ireland. And I stayed in Ukraine with my father for a while. Then I moved to Ireland to my mom, and I continued studying from grade 6 to grade 12, and graduated, lived there for a while. And when just my cousins and aunties moved here, they moved here about 10 years ago.
And so, this is to Dauphin?
Dauphin, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why they choose Dauphin.
Oh, okay.
And they just called me. They're like, hey, Roman, come here. And I was like, yeah, okay, for sure. Why not?
Yeah.
So Ireland, it was just economical, I think, decision to move to Canada. But Dauphin, it was just the family members that were here. And I was like, yeah, why not? I'll join them. I'll see what's going on here in Canada. If something, I have always opportunity to move back to Ireland. There's no problem. But I liked it here. I stayed here, and Dauphin seems to be my home for now.
Yes.
So, which I enjoy, and I've been here like for 8 years now.
Okay, and you moved here with your wife Natasha.
Yes, I took her over. I met her in Ukraine when I was just on vacation.
Wow.
It was kind of random. So I just met her there. And in the city, I always been there, and I never met her before. But apparently we found out we met, and we were like 5, and we were at the wedding.
No,
she was like 2. She was still like, she was in the hands with parents, and she was really little. And I was just dancing out there.
Wow. That's amazing. Hey,
Yeah. So I brought here, yeah.
Connected from almost like it was meant to be.
Yes,
Hey, you had run into each other before and then met again later, which is really amazing, especially going back for a visit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess your family, so you have family here in Dauphin, you have family in Ireland, but you still have lots of friends and family in Ukraine.
Yes, loads. To my knowledge, we just, me and my wife, we try to count all our relatives that are in Ukraine right now. So there's about over 30 people there, and they're relocated to different, like
all over
Kiev. There's like four or 5 different cities they're in, and
you said you have family in Mariupol as well.
Yes, and one of the family, they're actually a big amount of family back in Mariupol, and apparently they did move out already from there.
Okay.
Some,
and they're safe.
Some, yes. Okay. Some are lost. They're we don't have any contact with them right now.
Okay.
And we can't really even know if they're... Yeah, it's been a while. It's been over like 3 weeks we lost contact with them.
Oh.
And we're trying to reach out, and it's just... There's no network there. That's the problem. And it's really, really hard to get a hold of anybody there.
Okay.
So apparently people there are really heartbroken and panic, and really it's heartbreaking what's going on.
Yeah.
And like I said, big part of family is that they went to Russia because this is the closest kind of safe spot for them, and they do have relatives in Russia too, so they have somewhere to go there. That's the only thing, because like Poland is already overflown, and from Mariupol, if you look geographically on the map, Mariupol is beside Russia. That's why there's that the conflict started.
And by the water to the ocean, right?
So that's why for them it would be really hard to migrate to Poland or Slovakia or somewhere, because they would have to cross
great
the whole
distance
Ukraine
under war.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
Big risk.
So, yeah, that's why they pretty much walked out of it. You can't drive. You can't. There is corridors of humanitarian aid, and they're trying to get people out of there.
Yeah,
but they're only technical. They're not physical. The problem is Russia is actually bombing that as well.
Yeah.
Even though those are being... supposed
to be safe.
Yeah. They actually made it...
They're targeting those areas.
Yeah, which is awful.
So have you found family back in Ukraine? Have they been hesitant to leave? Because I know when I spoke with Irene last week, she had family. They're closer to the Poland border, so quite a bit safer for location. But she said they don't want to leave. They're there. They sleep with their clothes on. They wait for the sirens.
Oh, yes.
They're still teaching classes, and they go into their bomb shelters as necessary. But it's their home.
Yes, that's true. It's really hard for them, and I truly understand, because in Ukraine, like, it's different with the money wise. Like, people don't get as much. The wage is low and the price of the food is higher. So it's not really balanced
in comparison to, say, Dauphin or where we live.
Yeah, exactly. Like Canada or Ireland. It's pretty much more balanced out there.
Okay.
Back in Ukraine, it's really a lot of corruption. There's a big story behind that, but people are not getting enough of money. And they request a lot of money for, like utilities.
So they're driving up prices to make it unaffordable.
That's why for Ukrainians, their home is even even more relevant than here, because they fight for it. They pay crazy money for it. They try the best to keep it.
Yes.
And that's why they don't want to leave it,
Right. Because they're told their whole life is invested.
Yes. Pretty much so. And some of the family are pretty much the same. They're sleeping in their clothes, and there's always a siren going on, and they see rockets and planes fly over the head, and bombing is in the city right away. So like I don't know, it's crazy. We're keeping a hold of one of the family. They're 100 kilometers away from Kiev, and they're terrified as well. But they say, we gotta live like this for now, and we'll see if they don't really want to leave. We do have a place for them in Ireland, in Poland. I have friends and family who are scattered all over the world, so there's places to stay, but they don't want to leave.
But they want to stay where their home is.
Yes.
And they're hoping that the war will end quickly, right? So they can move on to some sense of normalcy. Has any of your family that you know of decided to join the army, or like, do you have, I know there was a lot of enlisting involved with the men, right? 18 to 65. So, and there's women that are taking up arms, like whoever's capable, because they want to fight for their country because they believe in the cause.
Yeah, they believe that they do want to protect their country. They don't want to give it away. That's for sure. The conflict with Russia was ongoing for like really long time right now. To me, it was like, before the war, it was still like Russia is like his close friend to Ukraine, really close common language. We kind of understand each other language. In Ukraine, there's a lot of Russian language going on too. Like if you go Kiev, the capital, there's millions of people that talk Russian, and still to this day, people are still talking conversation in Russian, and they call it broken Ukrainian, when they use some Ukrainian words, some Russian words. Yeah. And it's normal. Like it was normal in our community to this day. Like it's right now people are trying to eliminate Russian, and because it's just the way Russia attacked Ukraine.
Yes.
It broke people's heart, and they never say now that Russia is brother anymore. They used to say, some people had. Yeah,
there was a camaraderie before, but not now.
Yes. Right now, people, it's really, and it's heartbreaking for me too. Back here, I'm just heartbroken with this situation. So, and I got lots of friends in Russia and family and relatives in Russia too. Yeah. And if we were Skyping with one of my. They live in Moscow, so we're talking to them, and it seems like they. I want to be nice, I don't want to say bad words, but they just been feeded with really bad media.
The propaganda. I've heard.
It was so bad. He's just saying there's no war in Ukraine. I say, are you crazy? There's our family. You have your family. You called with them just recently, and
you have to believe your own ears.
It's crazy. Like, how can you not believe family, relative members, and believe the media? Like,
Well, I think that's why. So for real conversations, I've been really careful. I didn't want to talk about Ukraine until I could talk to somebody who knew people in Ukraine who have direct connections to Ukraine, because I'm a fifth generation Ukrainian. I've lost touch with our family members. My grandmother had cousins, and she would read us the letters because she could read Ukrainian. We didn't learn the language, so we've lost. But I know that I have family there. And so, my heart is, I think it's shock for everyone. It's still shocking, because you just never, you knew it could happen, but you never thought it would, And so I guess on a positive note, I wanted to talk about this fund that you're happy about, you were surprised by. What is the name of the fund?
So it's Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund. Like I was saying, it's just a pretty new fund. It's about 2 or 3 weeks old. And they did manage to collect already a big chunk sum of money to actually meet people here from Ukraine. So they're not helping to move here, as in flight tickets and stuff, but they do help to settle here for families.
Okay. So if they can get themselves here, then they will provide what is the fund trying to provide? It's a place to live, right?
Yes.
And furnishings and basically the setup.
It's pretty much everything you need to live in Dauphin here, and it's not only Dauphin; it's the whole Parkland area. So. Apparently the Parkland Fund here is gonna provide the housing, so for at least like 2 or 3 years, something in a good perspective. So they're gonna provide everything that house needs, so any furniture, any like pots and pots, whatever, forks and knives, everything needs to be in the house in place.
So it's basically almost like an Airbnb, almost like move-in ready.
Pretty much move-in ready, and they're going to provide vehicles if needed. Okay. They're going to help with finding work, with health cards, anything like, documents-wise. Everything is going to be pretty much supported by this fund. like grocery, even the food. You know, the first necessity is the food, the sleep, the shelter, and that's going to be provided by the fund.
Safety, right?
Pretty much.
Safety.
Yes.
I know you said you've had a huge donation from, it was Donnie Tarrant gave to this fund. Also, Roofs is accepting furnishing. So things like plates, dishes, forks, coffee tables,
everything,
gently used. So, I mean, they want things that are, I don't know if they're taking mattresses because I think they want to make sure there's, no bed bugs they're making sure that everything has been checked over and everything is in good shape. So I think everything goes through Roofs, but basic home needs. So this is to furnish these homes. And then you said financial donations. You can do a financial donation at Roofs, or you can do it at Fusion Credit Union.
That's correct. Any location at Fusion, you can come and say this is for the fund and write out a check, any amount, and that'll be really, really appreciated by the fund.
You were saying too, it's what you really loved about this is a local community fund for people that are coming from Ukraine, and the money isn't being watered down or used up.
Yes.
This is all volunteer. Right? Like people are putting in, like you said, you're working on the Facebook page right now. That's one of the things that you're doing. And you're really surprised by the generosity from the local people here. Almost like you said, like surprised or in awe of that people would give out of their own, of what they have. They would just, to
the people that
because they could sell the stuff on buy and sell. They could do all sorts of things to create their own income, but they're giving with open hearts.
That's true. I'm really surprised because the reason before I was looking skeptical, more like at fundraisers and all these like Red Crosses, because if you look at the terms and conditions, they do take percentage out of the, like if you donate 100, they take 2, and there's millions and billions of dollars there, so that's why to me the funds were kind of skeptical part of it. I was more like, self-help to the people. If someone asked, I would help, so that kind of help. But when I was talking to Father Brent, he actually produced me the fund. He's like, Roman, this is the fund. Come join, have a meeting with us.
Yeah.
So after the talk, I realized this is something really interesting and something I never would really expect from Dauphin, even though this is a Ukrainian community, but the amount of work, there's about 30 people there and all do their own work. Someone collecting furniture, right? Roofs furniture.
Yeah.
Father Brand is collecting some money in church.
Yeah.
Someone is like, Fusion collecting funds as well. There's everyone involved.
It's a community effort.
A mechanism that works perfect. And it's awesome. So I joined that fund, and I'm pleasant to be there, and I'm trying to help as much as I can as well from my side to help people come here. So, and apparently we do have already about 20 requests. So 20 different families want to come here.
Oh, wow.
So that's amazing.
And you think about like the difference, like having 20 families that come from Ukraine. Ukrainians are known to be hardworking. They give 110%, and, they would be very, I'd say, effectual. They would learn the language. And the cool thing is when they come here, I know you and I have talked a few times about the Ukrainian language, like, because my grandparents came over, like I'm fourth generation. My kids are fifth generation, but the Ukrainian is so different than the Ukrainian in Ukraine.
Yes,
so there'll be some learning on both sides, but I'm sure, the commonality will be there, and, very quickly, I think there's also that language of compassion and humanity that I think, when you see someone and you get off the plane and you're welcomed and you have a home, and, these strangers to you, have literally opened their wallets, opened their doors, opened their hearts for you to come into their community. I mean, that's a really beautiful thing. And it's so exciting to know that we have people in our community here that are doing this. And this isn't even funded. This isn't funded with any government funds.
No.
This is all. So that's what I think I want to point out is this is not government funded. This is privately funded, a community effort to bring people here. And these are not refugees, because you said that they don't come with refugee status. They come with it's immigration, and they're kind of expedited because of the situation, but they don't come with a refugee status. So they have to come able to work, right? Either to go to school as a student, to work, and to settle their family here.
Yeah. So they have a full rights to stay here and become a permanent resident or a Canadian and settle here in their family. So this is a good opportunity. for Ukrainians to come and start a new life here, and it's awesome.
Well, I know we talked a little bit too about the agricultural end of things and how similar. So you said from Ukraine to here, how similar the weather patterns, the soil, the farming, the agriculture, like there's a very similar. How did you describe that?
The whole nature here, it reminds me of Ukraine. Like I've been in Ireland, I've been in different countries like Europe and Germany and France, and it seems like Canada is the closest Ukrainian country. Like, it looks like Ukraine if you close your eyes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
But it does really look like Ukraine to me. So
that's wonderful and exciting. And I'm sure if we have, these Ukrainian families coming, I think it'll be really cool to see like the churches probably will start to fill up, and because they bring their religion, their culture, we're going to have more infusion of Ukrainian culture here. 20 families from Ukraine would make a huge impact in our community, and the kind of I want to say that effect and that the culture, right?
Yeah, I would really, really be happy to see them come here because that would be awesome. We're not sure if all 20 will be coming. Of course, we do have like a little form to sign, and you kind of fill it up and stuff. And we will, depending on how many homes we have at the moment, and stuff. So we'll be progressing with that as well.
So, say for example, even if a landlord wanted to give out their home instead of renting, if they wanted to provide the home for them to use. Right? And
that's pretty much what's happening. Yeah.
That's
all the rentals, they're actually just giving their homes away, or they just, give a crazy discount that family fund will be paying the difference,
Yeah.
And that's awesome. This is exactly what's happening pretty much. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So it's really nice, after you hear and you see all the horrible things that are happening in Ukraine, and we can't really affect that other than trying, with humanitarian aid, to be a catching glove, really, for those that need a place to go, that are willing to relocate, know. And I can totally understand why people wouldn't want to relocate. I mean, I can't imagine how hard it is to leave everything that you know and love about your country, know.
So that's true. Especially like, to me, as in person, I don't know even how I would react if I would be in Ukraine, if would I move or would I stay or protect the country? I can't tell. But I definitely understand that this is a hard decision. Like, even for people who wanted to move prior to war, move away, like, for a different life or for better work, and stuff like that. Even for them, it would be hard because it's kind of heartbreaking, leaving country in this shape and condition.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Roman, I really appreciate you coming and talking with us today here in Real Conversations. And if anybody wants to donate to the cause, they can get a hold of Roof's Furniture. They can get a hold of Fusion Credit Union.
It's Parkland Ukrainian Family Fund.
Okay, and so you can also find that on Facebook.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Roman.
Dr. Brenna and Three Graces MediSpa has been inspiring love, confidence, and health and humanity since 2019. Dr. Brenna's skin therapists have the advanced knowledge required to revitalize and rejuvenate your skin. Radiofrequency, microneedles, chemical peels, and Oxygen Neo superfacials are just a couple of the treatments we offer. To learn more about Dr. Brenna and Three Graces MediSpa, visit our website at threegraces.ca or call us at 204-572-5774 for a free consultation. A special thank you to Bankert Marketing for audio and video syncing, film editing, and web design. Thank you to Dr. Brenna and Three Graces MediSpa, Bankert Marketing, Real Security Solutions, Roof's Furniture and Appliance, Oil Depot of Dauphin, Tri-Family Health, Beauty, and Fine Gifts of the Paw, and Hearts to Nature Photography for your sponsorship of this podcast. Subscribe on YouTube at Tamara Michelle. Talk to you next week.